Welcome to the Marketing Department webinar series, Get Your Marketing in Motion. And we're showing the Marketing Department homepage here. Just want to show you how to get to the webinar series. You go to marketingdepartmentlv.com and then click on webinars. And what you're going to see here is the Get Your Marketing in Motion page for the series. You're going to see a registration link, so you can always go to this page and register for the next webinar. And then you're going to see a series of webinars that we have delivered. And we're going to take, let's take Debbie Kluska's as an example. You click on one of these and you go to the page for the webinar. You can see the webinar replay about the presenter, the value of the webinar, and then we've got all the webinar slides followed by the webinar notes. And so this is what you have for every single webinar that we've created. So going back to the webinar page, you can see there are a number of different webinars. Power of an Effective Brand Image. Ed Ferrillo was our person there, presenter. Creating multiple income streams with Stan Shields, Take Control of Your Relationship Marketing, Katia Diadigio, and Gordon Jones, Business Systems and Automation, Debbie Kluska, 5-Step Online Review System for Business Growth, Richard DePasso, last time, How to Create or Update a Video Marketing Strategy for Your Business. And today we have Tori Jones with 5 ways to fully integrate your website into your marketing process. And everyone's got a website. Everyone has the need to, that website is your marketing hub. And Tori's going to help us to maximize the website as a marketing tool. So let's go ahead and the whole focus of this webinar series is the title, Get Your Marketing in Motion. The whole idea is that, there's so many things you can do in marketing. I think people get overwhelmed and then, or they create these huge plans and end up doing nothing because the plan is just too huge. And so this whole series is based on the idea, just do something simple. Create a simple plan and get your marketing in motion. Once you get going, then you can begin to steer your marketing. But if you've ever sat in a car that's parked and tried to move the steering wheel, you can't steer something that's not moving. It's got to be in motion. It's the same is true of your marketing. So every one of those webinar titles that I went through just a moment ago is showing how in that one area you can do something that's simple, doable, doesn't take a lot of education, doesn't take a lot of money to get your marketing moving. And that's what Tori's going to show us today in terms of websites. Just to give a little bit of a introduction to myself, I'm the president and founder of the marketing department, lv.com, and another website, networklasvegas.com. After about 15 years in the digital marketing arena, where I was delivering just about every marketing service you can imagine as a freelancer, I decided, hey, I want to create a team. Businesses need a team. Businesses need to have the support, not just of one person, but a team of professionals. So I went about Las Vegas, pretty well networked here in this city, and began to search for the very best professionals in a number of areas, a wide range of marketing services. because this is what the challenge businesses are faced with: locate the best marketing vendors, manage those vendors, and then coordinate the work of the marketing vendors so you don't have a hodgepodge in your marketing. And so that's the main focus of this marketing department team. We're a team of professionals. Tori is our website professional. And let's move on to, Tori is the founder of Web Design Island and islandfunnels.com. And she'll share, people understand what web design is, but Island Funnels, that's going to be interesting. She'll share a little bit about that too. She's helped hundreds of business owners by developing websites and lead generation systems since 2003. Her mission is to do it right the first time, which will keep you relevant among rapid technology changes and extend your online presence longer. And Tori is a real detail person, very systematic. And when she creates a website and designs it, she designs it from the having a great server, a domain that's optimized, just everything, all the way through the graphics, the major theme. Tori is a real technician, very creative. You're going to see this. Watch the PowerPoint and notice the graphics in the PowerPoint. Just very top quality is what Tori stands for. And let's see, she's successfully completed hundreds of websites and now developing a 100% done for you lead generation system. And that goes back to Island Funnels. She'll share about that. So Tori, I'm going to turn this over to you and help us understand how to design a website that's going to really be effective in growing our business.
Good morning, everybody. I am Tori Jones, and I'm not wearing any pants. Ha ha ha. Okay, so what we're going to do here,
this is the next rated webinar.
is we're going to talk about the 5 ways to fully integrate your website into your marketing process. So we're going to go over, do you own your own website and why is that important? Ensuring that your website is the hub of your marketing, creating your marketing funnel, website call to action endpoints, and using your website to accomplish customer engagement. So this is the most important thing and the most aggravating thing that I see is most people are using services out there to develop their websites on. And I just wanted to go over the difference between having your website on another service or having your own website that you own that's built by a web designer. So there are 2 ways to build the website. So you can pay a service to try and build it yourself, and you're using their tools on their server, on their website, but you're really not having your own brand in this arena. You're actually putting your name on their website. You're just an account basically on their site. So you go in and you use all their tools, and they tell you that it's built on your domain, but really your domain is the name of your account. You're just a number under their website using your domain name, but really the URL is their domain name. So for example, if you build a site with Wix, you're actually on Wix website using their tools to build your website. You're loading your products, if you have a store, onto Wix's website. So what they do is they actually mask this their name in the domain so that you don't see it, but it's really all the traffic and everything that you do on that site is going to their site and they're benefiting from it. It's not doing anything for your brand. You're just using their website to put your products and services on it. Now, if you go ahead and get a skilled web designer to build you a custom website, then you are now branding yourself. This is a standalone website. It's yours. You're not sharing it with others. You're not on somebody else's website. You're literally branding your name right here, your domain name, and you are starting to develop traffic that's going to go to your brand and not to these other brands. You're just helping them get bigger and bigger and bigger. And Google is pushing their websites up to the top of the list because everybody is using their website. That's why you see them at the top when you usually Google like web design. Those are going to be up at the top because they have so many people on this website, but really you're helping their brand. Okay, so you're out there and you're trying to get people to go see your products and services on a website, right? Whether that be your website or another services website. So you're out there and you're telling people about it. Go here, this is my domain name. You're putting it on social media, you're going to network meetings, and you're even paying SEO to get traffic to your website. You're actually putting thousands of dollars a month to get traffic to your website. Well, guess what? If you're on one of these websites, you're paying for them to get traffic. So they're getting free traffic from you because you are directing people to these other websites where your products and services are. So you would want to definitely direct them to your website instead, because you're putting all this effort in to build a brand, but really you're building their brand if you are on one of their websites. So say somebody is Googling green baseball hats, right? And they're just trying to find a website where they can buy some green baseball hats. Now, if you are on one of these websites, you're actually helping them get optimized for green baseball hats. So of course, when someone's Googling them, you're helping these websites get pushed up to the top of the search so that Google can deliver green baseball hats to the visitors per their request. So obviously, when you're building your brand, you're going to want to optimize your website where you have the green baseball hats. Another thing to consider also is if you are on one of these other websites, you are competing with a bunch of other people that might be selling green baseball hats as well. So depending on your product, your price, or the description, or even the reviews on these websites is going to determine whether someone's going to buy from your section on these websites or somebody else's. So when you have your own website and your own branding and your own products, there's no competition with anybody else that's going on these other websites, because really, again, you are helping them brand. The Wix, the Shopify's, all these big websites are actually getting your good traffic that you may be paying for or telling people about to go there. So another good point that David had as well is these websites, usually why people pay for these websites to put their products and services on is because there's a lot of traffic going to these websites already, which makes sense. But again, this is not the way you're going to build your brand. There's also rules and regulations on these websites, and I've seen this happen to a dozen or so people where they broke a rule because they have rules and regulations of like what you could post, or for example, like CBD oils might not be allowed on these types of websites if you're selling those, and they might have a rule that you can't sell that. So now what are you going to do? You can't put those on a website and sell them, or you may put them on there and you have broken one of their rules and they can just ban your account and just wipe you up right out of their website. And now what are you going to do? You've been selling your products there, for a short amount of time, and now you have nowhere to go. So when you have your own website and you own it and it's your own brand, you don't have to worry about any rules or regulations. Everything is open to whatever you want to sell or put on there.
Yeah, just a quick note, Tori. A lot of people have videos on YouTube. They have content on Facebook. And these large corporations have announced that they can arbitrarily just remove your posts, remove your videos. Um, you know, you're in the control of another corporation when you're on, you know, Wix or another company. You're under their control. You're at their mercy, and they can make changes that totally destroy your business, and you're starting over again. If you're on your own website, your own domain, you have control of that, and you can grow it, and everything you put into it is yours for good.
Another thing too to mention on those websites is it's a money pit too, because you know that they're going to be upselling you as you go along. The longer you're a account on that type of website, they're going to keep trying to sell you stuff, and they're going to keep charging you for things that you need, that they'll be able to know what you need by their statistics, and they'll start trying to upsell you. And when you have your own website built, it's just a one-time bill to pay for it one time. All right, so number 2. So now we want to ensure that the website is the hub, okay, of everything you do. It should be the center point of all of your marketing that you're doing out there, because that's where you make the money. That's where your products and services are. That's where all your information about your company is. It's your contact information. It's everything. It should be the hub. So everything you're doing outside of your website should be leading people there. That's traffic going to your website too, which we'll talk about in a minute. So you're out there talking, you're creating flyers, you've got your business cards, you're doing presentations, you're out there using social media, you're doing promotions. All of these, I see a lot of this happening, are not pointing to your website. You're bypassing your website entirely, which is very bad for you, because if you're just directing people to, you know, give you a phone call or send you an email based off of all your marketing efforts, then you are missing a golden opportunity, which is to get them to your website so that they can also see what other products you're selling. I've seen this a lot where somebody is just putting one product out on social media and they're completely just bypassing the website. They're actually doing the purchase and mailing the product to them through email without even going to the website. So here's a couple of things to consider. Do not do this. I see this all the time. So you know how when you put your link to your social media on your website, right? Well, this is bad because you're actually directing them away from your website. Every time they click on Facebook or Twitter or these other social media platforms, they're leaving your website. You don't want people to leave your website. You want to keep them on there as long as you can. Another thing, which I was just talking about, is I also see people just posting a product that they're selling out on Facebook, right? And say it's green baseball hats. Here, you can buy my green baseball hats. And just give me a call. You know, just give me a call and I'll take the order and I'll ship it out to you. Or send me an email and I'll ship it out. And the website's not even in the whole process of this, which is so bad, because how are they ever going to see what your other products are? Or how are they going to find out about you, you know, just from you posting something on social media? So this is where the money is. This is where you make the money. It's on the website. All your products should be on the website. You want them to be able to browse and see everything that you offer. And they can't do that if you're just posting a product on a social media platform. So how you should use social media is this. So you get a website, you make sure all of your products and services are posted there. You also have a way to collect payment there. Everything should be locally here on the site. And then what you do is you share that link out to your social media. So if for example, if you're selling green baseball hats, you're going to take that URL, that link, when you click on this product on your website, and share that out to your social media. So then when people are in your social media and they see that, oh, green baseball hats, when they click that link, it's just going to take them right back to your website. You want to always keep them there. So you're actually using social media to draw them in. It's almost like a boomerang. You want to have everything originate from your website, boomerang it out to your social media or out to all your other channels, And then as soon as they click it, have them come right back to your website. This is free SEO, people. This is free traffic that's coming into your website absolutely at no cost to you. All you did was share out your products, and you are getting them to just come right back to buy them. So creating your marketing funnel, this isn't about like an actual funnel because I wanted to cover things that you can do for free to get people to your website. So in this term, I'm referring to funnel as all the things you do outside of your website should funnel to your website. So again, your social media should all lead everybody back here. This is where the products and services are, and this is where they should be purchasing them from, is on your website. Any print that you're doing out there, your business cards, your flyers, everything needs to direct them to the website or to the actual link where they can buy the product or service. Any signups you have. So when you collect, names and email addresses on your website for, say, a newsletter, you want to make sure that everybody is filling out the form on the website. I see this too. People go out to, like a networking meeting, right? And they're collecting business cards. Well, you don't even need to do that, because you'll come home with the business cards, you'll put them into your sign up autoresponders, and have to manually enter everything. You don't need to do that. You can just have a sign up on your website. And when you're out networking, you just tell people to go to your website, again, which is free traffic. Go to my website and you can sign up for my newsletter right there and just have them use the form and the sign up that's right on your website. No business card collecting needed, no data entry needed. Just have them go to your website. Also, all your contact information you should be having them go to your website. If they want to send you an email, they need to go to your website. If they want to call you, have them go to your website and get the phone number there. Because if you get people there, most likely they're going to browse around and see other things there, right? That you couldn't possibly tell them in a networking meeting, right? So if you are bypassing your website, you're doing an injustice to your marketing. Also, all your payments too. I see this where people also use other services out there to process their payments. Again, when they come to your website to buy something and you're using another service to process your payments, they are leaving your website. You do not want them to leave your website. In this day and age, you can do everything on your website. There's no reason for them to leave. And again, by getting them to go to your website and do everything in your whole marketing plan is free traffic to your website.
And Google measures traffic.
Here it comes.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So if here's your hub, right? Your website should be your hub. You should be sending all traffic there, right? Okay. So what happens is, by doing this traffic that's going to your website constantly is literally being measured by Google. Okay, they measure all of the traffic. It goes to all websites on the entire internet. And they're not even websites, they're web pages. Every single website it's not like they're going to your website, they're going to individual pages on your website. So each web page is important, because the more web pages you have, the more you have out there on the internet for people to find and have some kind of entry point to get to your website. So if you're sending everybody there, Google is watching that traffic, and that's how you organically get pushed up to the top of the Google list, because they measure traffic with one of the softwares they use is called Alexa. Alexa is a rating that they give you based off of how much traffic is going to your website. And the more traffic you have, the higher they will push you up into the Google search. So again, if I'm selling green baseball caps on my website and I'm sending everybody there, buy my green baseball caps, everywhere, from social media, from flyers, from business cards, buy my green baseball caps. Google is actually going, wow, like this website is getting a lot of traffic to buy this product. People are buying this product from this particular website. Let's push them up to the top. so that if someone's Googling green baseball caps, we want to reward this website and deliver them first so that they have a chance to sell more green baseball caps, because everybody seems to be going there for green baseball caps. So why not push them up to the top? This is free SEO. Doesn't cost you a dime. Did you want to add anything, David, on the SEO?
No, I think that's excellent. And with Alexa, Alexa has a rating system where they're like if you're number 10 million or something, yeah, that's a moderate rating compared to all the websites out there. If you're number one, if you're like Google, you'd be like one on Alexa, which means you got the most traffic. So watch your Alexa ratings. And as you do these things that Tori is suggesting here, as you begin to send your customers to your website to complete customer processes rather than doing over the phone or over email, send them to your website, have forms on your website, and then watch your Alexa ratings. And the Alexa ratings will begin to go down in number, which means as you get toward number one, your website has more traffic. Google recognizes that, as Tori mentioned, and it pushes you up, because Google's purpose is to get people to go to Google. And they want to know that when someone is searching Google, that that person is going to find what they really want. The only way Google knows that its top 10 is really useful to its customers, which is going to help them earn more business, is that top 10 has a lot of traffic. So if you have popularity, then Google's going to push you up because you're making money for Google, which is, that's the trade-off. But they want productive websites, and the main way they can tell a website is productive is it's got a lot of traffic. Okay.
Another thing to mention too is what we call off-site SEO too, and these are called backlinks. I'm sure you've heard that term. That's where also you get links coming into your website from other big popular websites. So say like CNN.com, that's a big website that gets a lot of traffic. If you're able to get your link to your website on there, if it's relevant, if they're talking about green baseball hats, just let's say, and then you get a link on their website, you can write to them. There's ways to go about doing that to see if you can get a link put on there. That is also free SEO, because now people are going to a very heavy traffic website. They're clicking on your link and it's bringing you traffic. So again, that's free incoming traffic that you can get by getting your website links on other big traffic websites as well.
A great way to do that is write articles. If you can write an article that ends up on Las Vegas Journal, Review Journal, that's got a really high rating, and you put your link at the bottom of that article, that is going to be more effective than having 500 backlinks on little yellow page sites and lots of other sites out on the internet. Just get a few backlinks on these high ranking websites like Las Vegas Review Journal and CNN. Wow, that would be great. Forbes, write an article on Forbes with a link back to your site. That's better than spending a whole year trying to get 1,000 backlinks.
Exactly, or paying thousands of dollars a month for SEO.
That's right.
That's what your SEO experts are doing for you, actually. All right. So now we're going to talk about website call to action endpoints. Even though it sounds obvious, you need to tell people what to do when they get to your website. That's huge now, because you've got 3 seconds to capture somebody's attention when they get to your website. So we use these, what we call call to action points. So you can put a call to action on your site anywhere, but it's important that you do it the right way. Your call to action needs to grab the attention of your visitor and entice them to click on it. because you're getting them to engage on your website. That's the whole point. You want to show visitors an offer they can't refuse. And not only does it have to be appealing, but it has to be persuasive. So the copy matters. And in order to ensure that your call to actions generate leads, you also need to remember the buyer's journey. So you need to look at your site from beginning to end and pretend that you're the buyer and what is the journey that your website is taking them through. So here are some best practices for your call to actions. Okay, so you want to make them action orientated. So you want to get the user to engage. You want to get them to fill out a form, put something into your actual website. So they're spending time there and they're actually engaging and they're trying to get information from you. Next, you want to make sure it's persuasive. You know, what's making your visitors leave? Ooh, I want to know what that is, right? So that's kind of persuasive. You want to have strong visuals, so you can use, you know, cool images and stuff to get their attention. And you want to create a sense of urgency always, right? Like, get today's special sent to you now, or it expires, blah, blah, blah. And then you want to make these call to actions easy to find. Like for my website, mine's right at the top as soon as you arrive. It's like, okay, click this button to get started. And then finally, you want to use your website to, and I can't see the bottom part.
Increase customer engagement.
Thank you. So the whole idea again is you want to send everybody to your website, and then once they get there, you want them to engage, because the longer that they stay on your website for whatever reason, whether they're browsing or watching a video, that counts towards that Alexa rating. Google is rating how long they even stay there. Not only the traffic going there, but how long did they stay there? That's called the click-through rate. So like if they get to your homepage and they leave immediately, that's being recorded in Google. So they're like, that must not be a good website. They came there and they left immediately. Or if they stayed a while and browsed and looked at a couple more pages and looked through all your products, then that is also being recorded by Google, and they're going, this must be a relevant website. People are spending time there. So you want to use little tactics that you can to keep people on your website, which is engagement, filling out forms, or videos. They have to stay there to watch the video. Another big mistake people make is they put a video on their website, but when you click on the video, it takes them away from your website to YouTube or somewhere else. You don't want that. You want the video embedded on your website. If they're watching it on the website, they're actually spending time on the website, and that is going towards Google's rating. They're actually paying attention to how long they stayed there. So these are the rules to remember. Do not bypass your website, okay? Engaging the visitor is the key, right? Get them there and have them engage. Fill out a form, watch a video, use your call to actions, keep them on your site as long as you possibly can. And then you want to make sure your website does everything, and it can in this day and age. Your website can be your store, it could be your CRM system, it could be your appointment scheduler, it could be your library of all your content, that's what blogging is. It could be your membership, where people come and sign up and pay for courses or to access certain spots on your website. You can actually charge for that. It can be a funnel. It could be a blog, even where people come and comment and share content. Just like Facebook, you can create a whole environment like that on your website as well. It's just the possibilities are endless today. Websites can do everything that you need. And you never want to direct anybody away from websites. So go back and take a look at your website, and if you have any links on there that are leading them away from your website, you might want to rethink those. What we're doing now is we're also putting even social media buttons. Remember how they're always at the top of your website? That was a big fad like a few years ago. Now we're burying them down in the bottom because we don't want to entice people to click them because it's going away from the website. You're better off posting something on your website and then sharing it to your social media so that when they click it, they come back to your website. So you want to use the links that keep them there, and avoid, social media links, and you want to just build the traffic to keep coming towards you, not away from you. Is your website supporting your marketing? So the other most important thing too is once you finally get your website set up the way you want, right, and you are directing everybody there and you're getting all this action and engagement, you got to keep your website maintained too. Your website should be a living, breathing piece of software that out on the internet that changes all the time, right? Because if you have old stale content, so say you just did a 3-page website, you never changed any text, hardly anybody goes there for anything, actually you'll drop down in Google because Google will not see you as a relevant website because it's old. There's nothing new happening on it. They don't see any traffic going to it. So you'll start to sink down to the bottom. So
it's like a block. It's like a block of melting ice. A website that you're doing nothing with is like a block of melting ice out there, and it slowly disappears in Google's eyes.
And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but technology is changing like every freaking minute. So like even your cell phones, you notice how many updates you have on your cell phones and how quickly cell phones are changing. And just all the technology around us. Same applies to your website. It's a piece of technology, right? So you have to keep that maintained. It's your hub. It should be your everything with your online business. So you want to make sure your design is current. Have you checked your website on an iPad even? Like I'm finding that people are skipping over designing for iPads now. They think iPads aren't popular anymore, which is wrong. Tablets and cell phones, the smaller things are, that's what they're using more than the desktop even. It's completely reversed. It's about 90% of people now use iPads and cell phones. So this really bothers me is that designers are literally skipping over the iPad. And I also find when you get a website on those other services like Wix and Shopify, they don't even supply you with the versions of the mobile and the tablet sometimes. And people are mortified because they spent all this time building this website on one of these services, and then they put it live, and then people are like, oh, it doesn't look right on the cell phone. And they're like, oh my God, I didn't know how to do the cell phone too. We're actually having to design 3 separate screen sizes now as web designers, when back in the day, all we had to do was 1. Now we have to do 3 because we have to make sure that the website looks great on all devices. So it's very important, because mobile is number 1 right now. Also, your website contains a ton of software and plugins that we need to make it work. So these plugins go outdated, like even weekly sometimes. Every time I go into a website, it's like I have to update something. And the reason why it's changing so fast is because of security, because the hackers are coming. So you've got to constantly be on top of the security of your website. And to do that, you have to make sure that everything that is used on your website, all the softwares, any tools that were used to build your website are updated. And also, who's backing up your website? I see this all the time. I hear from people horror stories like, oh my God, my website disappeared. And I called them and they're like, oh, well, we didn't have a backup. So you didn't make a backup and oh, well. And that's it. Like their whole website is gone in a poof. So it's very important that you also back up your own website because you can't rely on people. I've had my server service for over 12 years, and literally 2 days ago, one of my websites just disappeared. And I call them up. They're troubleshooting for a half hour, back and forth, please hold, please hold. They come back and they're like, oh, sorry, it just disappeared. I guess it's gone. I'm like, what do you mean it's gone? How could it just disappear? All my other websites are there. Why did just one just disappear? And they said, well, it looks like you didn't have a backup here on the server, so we're going to have to charge you to get that backup. Would you like us to proceed? And I'm like, no, I make my own backups. Thank you. And so I was able to take one of my backups and recover the website within 5 minutes. So it's very important that you are also keeping your own backups because you cannot rely on anybody out there these days. Even though I'm a techie, I don't rely on other tech. It's like I have to, you know, make sure that I'm doing everything because it's so unpredictable. And also the recovery time too. Even if you do get somebody to have a backup where they can recover for you, how long does it take them too? That's the other thing. It's not fast. Okay, so you want to also be able to make changes to your website. Easy editing. I see this all the time where you go into the back end of wherever your website is, and it's just loaded with all this confusing links and things, and people don't know what to do. They're like, how do I just change this one thing on my page? Because they give you too much to look through and too much to have to deal with, where is your website should just be just what you need, you know, just to make the changes that you need, and it should be clean and organized and not have all this filler stuff in there that you don't need, or you're afraid that you're going to break if you click on something. That I see that a lot too. And so you should have a website that's easy to edit, know what you need to do. You should have training available to learn how to make changes if you want, or you should have some kind of support program where they'll make changes for you as well. And that's why you need to have a 7-day-a-week support line. So today, I wanted to offer a December special to anybody that's interested in our website support, which is where we make small changes for you, or you can edit yourself, either or. We make updates to all your softwares and plugins to make sure your website is secure. We fix any website issues, so if something's broken on your website or doesn't work. And we also make backups weekly. We also provide hosting too. It's included with this, and we'll install your SSL certificates and renew them. This is where you have the secure domain with the HTTPS. This is required now with all browsers. Anybody searching for your website, will warn them that your website is not secure, and they won't go into it because they get panicked. It's because you don't have this SSL certificate installed on your domain. And you also have to renew these every year too, which I see people going, what happened to my website? Why am I getting a warning sign? It's because your SSL certificate expired and you didn't renew it. So we handle all that for you, so you don't have to worry about it. We also include 2 unlimited email accounts with this. So you can just have as many as you want. Most services charge you by how many emails you have, and the price keeps going up if you have more and more emails. So we just include 2, and they're completely unlimited. And then we fix any hosting issues that you have, and we also fix any email issues that you have. We have a support live, just like this, or email support, and it's 7 days a week, and it's for 1 domain or subdomain. And we only charge $58 a month for this. But today, I'm going to offer 1 month free for you guys. And this will expire on December 15th if you'd like to take the offer. And you can go to this link down at the bottom. I can't see it, David. It's covered up here.
Okay.
But I will put this link also in our chat for anybody that's interested. This is for first-time clients only with WordPress websites.
Okay. Okay. I was going to try to reveal that, but I couldn't work my pointer. Okay. Now I can, but don't move your pointer.
Go ahead.
Got 2 people operating the screen here, which is, it's cool, but at the same time, it's okay. There, members.webdesignisland.com/DEC for December, and that's where you'll get Tori's special offer.
Okay.
Okay. So, Tori, is that the go ahead to the next screen? You were going to
go ahead.
Okay, so this is our webinar series, Get Your Marketing in Motion, and you can see our presenters here. We've got 12 awesome businesses that are presenting, and you'll see, just go to that page, marketingdepartment.com, marketingdepartmentlv.com/webinar, and you'll see the whole schedule. And then here's our contact information. Give Tori a call or send her an email if you've got questions, you want to follow up on anything you heard. And let's see, we've got a little time left. Tori, I want to try something with you real quick. Let's just do a rapid fire, create a quick list, and do some brainstorming. Remember, this series is all about simple things that you can do in order to improve your marketing, to get things in motion. So I'm going to ask the question, and let's both fire back and create a list. So here's the question. If you could do just one simple thing to improve the performance of your website, what would that be? And I'll present a couple just to start out. One would be, every week, go in and make a change on your home page. Google recognizes the home page more than any other page on your website. And like I said, the website is like a block of melting ice once it's out there if you're not doing anything with it. Well, the most important page to do something with is your home page. So if you go in just once a week and make a change, that will that'll be a huge marketing result for you. Another thing that you can do, if you could do just one thing, is go in to your domain where it's registered and make sure it's registered more than 2-3 years out, because a lot of people just register recurring registration renewals every year. Well, what that means is that every there's only one day a year when that renewal occurs that you have 12 months out. And every day after that, until the next renewal, it's less than a year. When Google looks at a domain and sees that it's registered for less than a year, you drop in the rankings. So make sure your website's domain is registered for more than a year. Tori, you can jump in with any simple ideas to improve, that people can do right now to make one change, what's going to most affect your website's performance. Another one is create a video, post it on your website, because as Tori mentioned, Google measures dwell time. This is the amount of time people spend on pages. And if there's a video there, the dwell time is going to increase. Google's going to say, oh, this website's popular. So I'm going to move it up in the rankings.
Another thing about videos too is another big mistake I see is that when you do make a YouTube video, right, and you do put it out on YouTube, and you should, because YouTube's one of the most popular video channels, you're also embedding that video though on your website. So you're using that video in two places. You want to keep them on your website with it, but you also have it out on YouTube, okay? But the mistake made is that when you have it out on YouTube, there's descriptions and tags and things that you can use on for your video, like describing the video. That there's places to put text and keywords and things like that. And the missed opportunity is no one is putting in their website link to lead them back to the website, from that video. It's just like they're just posting it out there and throwing it out there and saying, this is what I do, but there is no link back to the website. They're again bypassing the website. This is just the number one thing that I see is people everything you do in marketing, think about how am I going to lead them to my website, or what am I going to put on my website that once they get there, they can do it here instead of doing it over here. That's really the mindset.
Okay.
So, like
So
creating
that's
a
a good
newsletter.
thing.
Mhm.
Go to YouTube, go to all your videos, make sure that in the description of that video, it's got the address of your website.
And
And
you
go
can
to your
also put an
YouTube.
offer in there as well. Like put an offer in there to get them to go to your website and lead them to that offer page on your website. That's another thing. You could create pages with offers on them throughout your website and just lead them to those pages from outside for different things.
And go to your YouTube channel. Make sure it's linked back to your website. Go to Facebook, go to Twitter. Make sure it's linked back to your website, every one of your accounts. So that's a simple thing that you can do.
Mhm.
Doesn't take any training, no big time expenditure, but it produces really huge results. Okay, what else could people do now?
I have a question here from Ed, I see.
Okay, good.
It's regarding backups. Yeah, backups on your site, it requires a piece of software. So you have to load a plugin that is made for backups. And there's a bunch of different kinds. And you have to spend time researching them and see which ones you need. I use one called Duplicator Pro. I actually pay for that one, but it does backups for me automatically. And it also, I can save them in Dropbox or locally on my server if I want, or I can actually download them to my computer and put them in a safe place on an external drive. So, but there's a few different kinds, but you literally have to purchase this plugin, load it on your website, and you have to configure it to do what you want it to do, and then you can push a button and do your backups when you want.
Yeah, and I know from Ed's website that we can go into his cPanel and go into his applications and actually do a backup through that also. And so
You
there
got to be
are,
careful with that because there's that was one of the reasons why when I called um, my hosting company to find out where that website went, you know, I don't have enough space for them to run automatic backups. So you have to check that out, check that out with your account. So that's why they were claiming they were going to charge me for it because, I didn't have enough space for them to run the backups that are supposedly included with my hosting account. So, which I never use anyway, obviously I have my own backups, but you just got to be careful with that because, and they're also, if they're backing up locally on your server, what happens if that company goes down, or what happens if they lost the backup, just like they lost my website? I mean, it can happen. So I really don't like that method that you're actually backing up with them. You should always have a copy somewhere else, such as Dropbox, or even locally too, as well, because I mean,
yeah.
it's a big deal.
And
Yeah.
you can use that button and they give you a choice, backup on your local computer, and that's what you want to do. You don't want to
Okay.
back it up on their server. You want to they'll send you a zip file and then you have it on your computer, and you want to back up both your website files and your
Database.
database. Yeah.
Right. See, that's the other thing. You got to make sure you know what's being backed up as well.
Mhm.
I like with the software that I just load on the website. I can choose what I want. I could just do the whole thing all in one swoop as well, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, it's a little different when you're backing up on a server. It's going to make sure you're capturing the database as well. It's two
Okay.
separate things.
Other, let's open it up for questions, or if anyone here would like to present an idea. You can do one thing. What would that be to increase your website's performance? Okay, Stan.
I have a question / comment with
Okay.
regard to updating the home page on a daily basis or frequency, whatever. Would a widget count that would automatically bring in content to that home page? Would that count as part of that daily update for the page. Like for instance, if you used a widget to bring in the latest blog posts, or you used a widget to bring in other content from other sources.
Or a clock, a time clock.
Or how about a news ticker or something like that? Or even better, I have this actually helps two things, but yes, the answer is yes, it works. As long as there's fresh, different content on the page. Absolutely, it doesn't matter how it gets there. But another good thing is to put like the weather on your website, because it's local, it's daily, it looks like your website is current because they're literally posting the local weather every day.
Oh, that's cool.
Right? So that's a little trick as well.
Good. That's it.
Very good. Okay, other questions? Okay, any other ideas? If you do one thing, what would that be?
Yes.
Okay.
I have an idea. Okay. The
Excellent.
very first thing that I would do with it would be to make sure that there is a call to action above the fold on the website, so that there's some way for you to capture email addresses and give the person that action that you want them to take.
Okay,
That'd be my big one thing.
And what he means by above the fold is as soon as you arrive like on a desktop, and you can, whatever you see on the website is above the fold. If you have to scroll down, then you've now put everything below the fold, which is, you know, people may not even see if they don't even scroll. So, and same on a cell phone, it has a fold as well. When you just pull up the website right on your phone, and you can check your own websites, what do they see without even scrolling? That's where you want all your important stuff immediately.
And speaking of call to action, let's say that you are a dog trainer and you want a great call to action. A call to action, I don't think I think a call to action would be weak if you just say, call me for a free consultation. We'll talk about your dog, and you can ask questions, and that's very weak. But if you have a download that is the top 5 ways to house train a dog, a problem dog that's wetting in the house. Here's the top 5 ways to house train that dog. Enter your name and email. You can download this as a strategy sheet. That is a stronger call to action. And there's urgency in that too. If their house is getting destroyed, they know that, hey, I need these top 5. So think of something that has that urgency and it delivers something immediately to the person. Not something like, oh, you need to call for this and you can give me a call and I'll give you a 15-minute consultation. That's not immediate. A great call to action is something that delivers immediate results. Okay. Well, that concludes our webinar for today. Tori, thank you so much. You've really enlightened us, and I've seen that that you had some really good comments on the chat that this is a very valuable experience training that people have received. So remember finally that you'll get 1 month free website support. This is Tori's offer, expires December 15th, and you go to members.webdesignisland.com/DEC. And you can
leading people to my website.
yeah, Tori's practicing what she preaches.
Always lead people to your website.
Okay.
Hey, Tori, so maybe you can answer something really quick before you leave. What software do you use to create that custom link so that it's your website / something that allows you to brand your site, but take them to a special link? What tool do you use?
It's just a page. It's just creating another page.
You just created a page? Okay.
Yeah, that's a URL that's leading to that page. That's all.
Okay.
That's why you have the /. It's not going to the home page. It's going / to this page, which is the DEC page.
Got it.
For December. Correct. Thanks, guys.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tori. And we'll be returning in 2 weeks. And I've been talking with Katie about doing a webinar in 2 weeks. We'll announce this in the next few days, but you'll see it on the webinar schedule. Katie doing a webinar. She's shifting her business from social media to content creation. Pretty exciting changes for Katie, and content is so important. Katie's going to create an entire webinar based on how to create content consistently and effectively to grow your presence and grow your business.